Namaste everyone. Today is Naturally Cooling Group 40th webinar. So far we covered many topics and with many different presenters and different topics, including the Corona days. And today we are talking on the homeopathy way of healing. And today topic is homeopathy way of healing and its importance, effectiveness in epidemics and pandemics days. And today we have a presenter is Dr. Nisha, and she is a homeopathy graduate, homeopathy doctor, and dietitian, homeopathic and naturopathy physician, health coach, and cancer prevention activist, weight loss and chronic and lifestyle disease specialist. And she is from Delhi. And today we'll hear more about what are the natural ways to increase the herd immunity, and someone has any corona coronavirus effect, and how to heal them naturally through homeopathy. Nisha ji, over to you.
Thank you so much. Namaskar everyone, this is Dr. Nisha. I am a lifestyle doctor and I'm here to discuss about today's topic, which is homeopathy, the way of healing, and how we can contribute and help and prevent and cure the epidemic and pandemic cases. So I think we start. Let me share this. So before I explain the homeopathic way of healing, I want to remind all of you of something. You all must have heard of a very common saying that diamond cuts diamond, loha lohe ko katta hai. You know, when we cut a piece of glass, we need a very fine, sharp piece of glass to cut that. And to mend iron, we need an iron. Okay, so this is a very fundamental law of nature. This is how things work since forever in this universe, since we have existed, since mankind inception. So this is, we call it law of similars. And this law of similar has a big role in laying the foundation of homeopathy, because from this law, Hahnemann has discovered this whole new science of healing and gave mankind this gift, which is so highly efficient in curing most of the problems. This law of similar, it's a very scientific law, and it has its origin in our ancient Hindu text as well. Because, see, science has always been derived from nature and natural laws. Science is not separate. You cannot separate these two things. Nature is supreme and its laws are undeniable. Like we have all the other laws of gravitation, law of attraction, law of action, law of vibration, and many others similar laws. So homeopathy and law of similars. Homeopathy is based on this very profound law of similars, which states that when we talk about healing, when we talk about curing something, in our ancient texts it is mentioned that you need something similar to cure that issue. Okay, as per this law, to heal or to correct some disorder in the human system, we need a more or less similar and slightly more potent agent or tool or medicine that is capable of producing similar affections in healthy individuals. So this is how all the homeopathic medicines have been proved. Because in diseased individuals, they are able to cure the affections which they are able to produce in healthy individuals. This is what homeo stands for. Homeo stands for similar. So this is how homeopathy originated. And like cures like. This is the basic principle, basic foundation law of homeopathy. So for this, to understand you better, I want you to imagine yourself as a set of lock and key. Your body is your lock, and your key is your health, your harmony, your happiness, your all the vital force functioning. It's in best state. When the key is with the lock, you're happy, you're healthy, your body is functioning normally. But what happens when the key is lost? When the key is lost among hundreds of other keys, we're not able to find it. But a homeopathic physician is well trained to find that key for you and to help you recover and uh, restore your health back. So this is the beauty and uniqueness of this pathy, that it understands that though all the human beings, we seemingly look alike, we are certainly different from animals, but we all have 2 ears, 2 eyes, 1 head, 1 mouth, 2 hands, 2 legs, 1 body, but that doesn't make each one of us same. Are we all same? No, we are not. Each one of us have a different individuality. We are different personalities, we have different mentalities, we have different thought processes, so that define us. So similarly, our diseases are also unique and uh, peculiar to one's individuality, and one medicine cannot cure all the problems of uh, all the human race. So each homeopathic remedy is like a key to restore the health, and each professionally trained homeopath is capable of finding the right key for you. So homeopathy importance and effectiveness in epidemics and pandemics. Let's come to this. So homeopathy has been used to treat epidemic diseases since the time Hahnemann, where he himself saved many lives from scarlet fever using a remedy called belladonna. And since then, in every epidemic, every endemic disease, every pandemic, every homeopathic doctor has contributed in saving many lives. So there are different ways and approaches of selecting a remedy for any given case in an epidemic or a pandemic. So the first that comes is the individualization. This is the normal method that we, otherwise also we use in selecting the remedy if it's not a pandemic case or an epidemic case. And the next method is the combination medicine, where combination of few medicine has been given to treat whatever the totality of the symptoms. This is also a very effective method. And the next we call is the genus epidemicus. Genus epidemicus is like when you have treated like more than 100 or 500 cases, and then you take out totality of symptoms which are similar in most of the cases, and then you find a remedy which is suitable for maximum number of cases in a given area. Or if like many doctors report that they have used that particular medicine for uh, healing or curing the epidemic cases in their area, then the genus epidemicus is declared. So it can be used as both preventive as well as curing the symptoms or the people who are affected by the epidemic or the pandemic disease. So let's come to the today's crisis that we are facing, the coronavirus pandemic. See, clearly it is that modern medicine certainly doesn't have a cure. They are treating the patients on a hit and trial basis. They've been using HIV medicines and malaria medicines and all the other immunosuppressant or various medicines, but there is no definite cure for coronavirus as such in modern medicine, which is the first and foremost line of treatment so far for the coronavirus patients. And its vaccine is under trials and it's yet to come, and people are waiting anxiously for the vaccine to come so that they can get a breathing space. And this, we all know that this virus is yes, very, very highly virulent, and it's constantly mutating, you know, every few days, every few weeks, or sometimes even every week, the virus changes its characteristics. You know, some studies say something, and after few days they say some other thing, that now no, this is not true, and now the virus has mutated, and yeah, somebody's saying some wants to
No,
say
no.
something.
Please continue with your session, and at the end we will take this.
Okay, okay. So this is so implementation of lockdown we are seeing these days. We have been doing all the, you know, preventive things like social distancing, sanitization, washing hands, and it of course can slow down the spread of the infection, and it can prevent many other infections also for us. But this is certainly not the cure, and the vaccine also, if it comes like in 3 months or 6 months, it is not going to eradicate the virus forever, and the infection is going to stay. So what do we do? So I think homeopathy definitely has treatment as well as prevention. It offers both for coronavirus currently. We must look forward to using homeopathy from the very beginning, and then obviously we reduce the risk of going into the complication stages, stages 3 4, where people need ventilation, and they're like, the life is under threat. So before that, I advise to everyone to, you know, start act from the symptom one. Even if you have a little sore throat, even if you have a little cold, or a little sneeze, or a little cough, or a 99 fever, please be serious, please take it uh, very seriously from the day one. Take proper treatment, contact a good homeopathic doctor nearby or anywhere you can access. But please start homeopathy along with, if you wish, you can start your allopathy also. But do start homeopathy from the day one. Then we can obviously that mortality, we can know surely that stage is never going to come. And with the community spread that we are now in, the cases are certainly going to rise. Now people have choice to choose their mode of treatment earlier, which wasn't possible, because earlier people were taken from the home, you know, to the hospital directly, and the modern medicine was the only option to them. But now, since a lot of people have been asking, and Ayush also has been offering, you know, help, and all the doctors have been raising this, and saying that we have the treatment, and these should be included. So I think now it's more accessible to people, so people should be aware of this, and they should ask for a homeopathic doctor along with the conventional treatment, whatever they are uh, taking, or along with the home remedies, or the Ayush Kada and everything, whatever they are taking. Or you start your homeopathic treatment when the first symptom appears, as I have told, so that the stress or the panic situation, we can avoid it. It is certainly a time to rise above our differences and see and unite and work to save the human race, because this virus has been, you know, there are theories that this is like bio war kind of. It's been used as a biological weapon, or released as a biological weapon. So it's more threatening than uh, any pandemic that has happened in the past, or any epidemic that has ever happened. This is the most serious one, and this is the most threatening one. So we need to take help of all the pathies whichever are available to us, so that we can save the mankind, we can save our health and harmony, and the humanity is safe. So this is about the presentation, and now I would like to share with you few cases that I have been treating of the COVID positive patients. Uh, the first case that I treated was the patient had like fever, cough, body ache, headache, and he was having this breathing difficulty, and he contacted me over phone and we started the treatment. Then we didn't know that it was the symptoms were not as such. Like he was saying ki when I'm coughing I get a little uneasiness in breathing, so it wasn't really sure that. And he was having expectoration also, mucus was also coming, the status was not clear, but we advised to get the test done, and he came out positive after 2 days. So his wife also was having all the same symptoms. The husband wife was staying together, and the wife's symptoms were a little more severe than the husband, and so he came positive. We continued with the treatment. On the day when his test came positive, his fever was like only 99. When he contacted me 2 days back, his fever like was 101. But like in just 2 days time, his fever started going down to 99, and in next 2 days he was like rarely having fever, and cough was every day getting better, the breathing was normal, and in a week's time he was like completely fine. So after he was tested positive, so we had to go for his wife's test. We went for his wife's test after 2 days, when you know because there is a process, you call the guys, they come in 24 hours, so it's like a time consuming process until the report comes. Like report comes in like 24 to 30 36 hours. So till the report, her report came, she came negative. So to the surprise of the entire family, and to my surprise also, because you know this is how we have been get we are scared of this virus, that if you have this virus, you if the wife of course is staying with you, she is having all the symptoms, and she would 200% should have been positive, but she came negative because we had started the treatment of both of them from the day he contacted me actually. So I think this is one of the reason. And then second, one more case I tell you, uh, positive. He got positive. After that, he contacted me and he said, "Ma'am, I only had a mild sore throat. Maybe I had some citrus juice in the evening, That's why I felt the throat is aching a little bit. And I did some gargles and I was fine. But after 2 days, his test was conducted and he was found positive. Then he had little more aggravation and more inflammation into his throat, and we started the treatment. And after a week, he also was found negative. And the recent case that I have been like I'm still treating, which came to me last week only. So this man, 65 years old, he's having inflammation and infection in both his lungs. I got the X-ray on the first X-ray report on the day one on my phone, all his reports, because they told me that for past 1 week he was having 101 fever, 101 and above, 101 and something, 102. So the fever was staying this for past 1 week. He was continuously on allopathic treatment for the entire week. All his tests were done by the allopathic doctor, and I started with the treatment, and I also advised them to go for the COVID test. So next day the sample was taken, and second day report came, and he also came positive. But the day on which report came, his fever was like below 100, and he was able to breathe better. He was having infection in both his lungs, so he was having, attacks of dyspnea regularly during the day. But in those after starting the treatment, like in just 2 days, his dyspnea got better, his fever got better, his anxiety, restlessness, he was, feeling very restless because of the lack of the oxygen, probably because he wasn't able to breathe properly and his fever was shooting. So all these things got better in 2 days, and I think from the fourth day's fever went away, and he's breathing normally now. And but his test is pending because after a week only we advise to go for the test as per the protocol. Like 10 days after, you can get the person tested for the report, whether it's positive or negative. So one more thing I want to add to this discussion today, like we people have been relying a lot on the vaccine. Like people have been so eagerly waiting for the vaccine to come as if it is some kind of a magic pill. I don't know. I want to put some facts in front of all of you that I've taken from the WHO website. So this is about tuberculosis. We all know like tuberculosis is a very similar disease to COVID. It affects the lung, and it of course is caused by a bacteria, and COVID is a virus. But we have a vaccine for tuberculosis, and we vaccinate each child of ours because it is mandatory for everyone. So we have a vaccine for tuberculosis. But still, in India, in 2018, some 16 lakh 13,504 people had tuberculosis. And in 2017, some 14 lakhs 44,170 people had tuberculosis. So per year, 1.5 million people world over die of tuberculosis. In India, 6 to 8 lakh people die every year of tuberculosis. Even in 2019, 2018, each year, if you see the number, you'll find it's between 6 to 8 lakhs. This much people die every year of this disease. And we have a vaccine for tuberculosis, And it's written that ending the tuberculosis epidemic by 2030 is among WHO's health target of sustainable development goals. So I don't know what this sustainable development is. So there is a vaccine, there is proper treatment in place, but still it's written that 1/4 of the world's population has latent diabetes. It's written on the website of the WHO. It's a very scary number. Similarly, HIV/AIDS, 1.6 million people die per year. So by this, I just want to tell you that don't rely on the vaccine so much. It is not a magic pill. It is not going to do wonders. It is not going to eradicate anything. It is just going to remove that mental stress and stigma that we all are having because of a lot of news of the virus. We are like bombarded with the scary facts and numbers of deaths of the that are happening because of the COVID virus. So I think we need to seriously realize that vaccine is not going to help, and we need to take help from these conventional systems of medicines, all the ancient systems. Like Ayurveda is helping, offering help, homeopathy is offering help, naturopathy doctors are offering help. All these doctors are saying that we can treat it. Let us give an opportunity. And now, with the increase in the number of the cases, people have choice to ask for a homeopathic doctor or for a Ayurvedic doctor as per your preferences. But I just want to urge to everyone that please take help of these system of medicines along with allopathy. And it's allopathy is absolutely necessary when it comes to emergency situations, because all these other health health professionals, they have not been trained in emergency medicine. So that is the best thing to look forward for in any case of emergencies. But before that, we all know that the track record of homeopathy, I think, is the best when it comes to healing any kind of chronic infection, any kind of allergic diseases, any kind of the healing, the success rate of homeopathy is better than any other pathy so far. So this is it, guys. This is my perspective. If anybody has any questions, please, you're most welcome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
participants, please raise your questions and we'll take the questions from. And we'll unmute and we'll answer the question. Otherwise, you can also type in the group chat. We'll take the questions from the group chat. Yeah, Nisha ji, to say when I first started working on the natural ecology group, before that I did a lot of study and I read many books on homeopathy and different doctors and Materia Medica and all the stuff. So till that I still have I didn't find any good doctor on board, because all the doctors will tell only about the medicine, but nobody will tell about the food we should take. And we are glad that you are
sorry, what
the food we take.
The food diet we take. Yeah. Okay.
So we are glad that you are on board and you are both expert in homeopathy and as well as the food part.
Of course.
And also,
I'll be happy to answer anything related to diet also.
Yeah, and also you conducted many awareness camps and training programs earlier as well. So it's very glad to have your session today. Yeah, we'll take the question from Pratap ji. Pratap ji, unmute yourself. Yeah. Please ask your question.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am. I've got some few questions. First question is that first question number one, when a person goes into a quarantine or in the hospital, they do not get access to homeopathy as of now. They're working on the various medicines and all that, which is allopathy in nature. Homeopathy is still what I've understood. That's what I've understood. I might be wrong. You can tell me. It is still by WHO as of now as a part of the treatment process. In any case which is positive case. This is point number one. Point number two, question number two is, see, normally I understood homeopathy is a little a slow process of curing it. But now, as you said that, you are able to bring this change about within a couple of days. You can see an improvement happening, which was a little bit of a surprise. I was always under the impression that it should be, homeopathy is a part of the preventive action, so that you don't come into this thing, because it's a slow process. If something is emergency, then normally people go for allopathy and try to quick fix, but homeopathy is a slow, pure process. That is point number two. Question number three is,
I think I should answer one by one, sir. Your first question was that WHO has assigned homeopathy as only a preventive measure and not as a curative therapy. This was?
Yeah. That means it is not used in the quarantine hospitals, which I've understood, which is there. They are given access to only allopathy. Homeopathy is still not a part of the process of the treatment. It doesn't go into the ICU or the medicine. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Actually, I do not want to say this, but WHO is not really interested in curing people. No, this association is not interested in healing people. They're just happy with the graph increasing of positive and of diseased people. It's a big lobby, sir. You understand that where money is, everything revolves around that. And homeopathy is such a noble, pathy, not a strong union, not a strong lobby, and not big names around it who would, advocate for homeopathy. But the ground reality is the people who have taken homeopathy ever in their lifetimes. I have seen them following for the rest of their life homeopathy. They become so fond of this pathy. And it was initially that yes, people whoever tested positive, I started treating COVID patients like some 1.5 months back. Before that, I think we had no access. We all were home, and people were so scared of, even to talk about, because you had to immediately inform to the authorities, and they'd quickly come and take the whole family into the quarantine center, and everything, the process starts, and they'll do whatever the process is. But nowadays you can ask for a homeopathic doctor also, or any other pathies doctor that you believe into. And I think you should ask if you want to seriously get recovered from the infection, if you want to cut the chase, of that long, if you want to cut the stress, cut the story short, you should ask for a homeopathic doctor, and I would advise you to you should try.
Yeah.
And your
Okay.
second question is that it is a slow healing
I have the
therapy.
impression that homeopathy is comparatively a slow process because it tries to cure a person from the root, and it takes and it is not a so it takes a longer period of time for a person to fully recover or cure. But by your few case studies which you had shown up, it
Yeah.
appears that we are able to make this turn around within 7 days time. So that was a little bit of a surprise to me. Is there some mix? And homeopathy is full of natural elements involved. So have there been some chemicals also now been added to make this process a little faster?
No, sir. It's actually it depends on the experience and the confidence of the doctor. That completely is, and it's not a slow process. In nature, everything happens at a speed. Okay, and if you're suffering from a fever or a stomach ache or a headache or a loose motion, you should expect relief within like first 24 hours. This is the maximum time that you should be relieved of your symptoms. When we are talking about the acute cases, like every pandemic or epidemic disease is similar. You're having cough, cold, and pain, and body ache and headache and fever. So you don't want to wait for a few months to the relief to come. So that is completely illogical, insensible. This is just a myth, and this is not true. I tell every patient of mine in chronic diseases, see, I am like seeker of knowledge also. I try to learn anything which can benefit anyone. I'm like treating the people around, or my family, or for that matter me also. So I try to gain that knowledge. So that's why I've studied about different pathies also, and I use all the goodness they have to offer. So I tell my patients, like within first week you will feel the relief. And now, coming to your point, you're saying that something has been added into the medicine to make it more effective. That is also not true. The medicines are completely natural and safe, and they're made the way they should be made. And there are no kind of people often blame homeopathy to have steroids into their medicines, which is not true, sir. Allopathy has openly been using steroids to every other patient. Their every other disease, they give steroids, and homeopathy has no steroids in any of their medicines. This is just a blame game and nothing else. And if you talk about, suppose you see, in nature, I was saying that everything grows at its own pace. It takes its own time. When we're talking about chronic diseases, yes, we're talking about the 100% reversal of the disease. So that takes time. How chronic the disease is, how much reversible changes have happened, how much irreversible changes have happened. It depends on all of these factors, and not really whether homeopathy is slow or not. The disease is slow to cure. Body cannot, like in our body, that like our hairs grow at a certain pace. You cannot drink any tonic in the world, kitna bhi magical ho, but still you cannot grow your hairs overnight from a certain length to, you know, a very long length, or your nails grow at a certain pace, and like kids grow, their height comes in like gradually. It's a gradual process, and no tonic can say, oh, like the height that should come into like 5 years or 10 years of span, you drink this or you eat this or you take this, and magically that would come into 6 months. That is not true, and that is against nature. So I think these are all misconceptions that people have, and some people to bring some pathies down, these things are framed also most of the time.
Yeah. The last question, sorry, ma'am,
Yeah.
one last question.
No problems.
Understand that this pandemic also affects various organs, you know, it passes by the lungs, plus various other organs gets affected. Now, when you get a patient who is positive and his other organs is slowly getting affected, will this homeopathy helps to do the reversal and bring the vitality and energy around that affected organs and make it very, what do you call, active as its original state?
Yes, definitely. So it's not that it's not the virus which is affecting the other organs of the body, but those people who are already having organ failures, or having diabetes, or having, you know, liver issues or kidney issues, whose already immunity is already down, they are like more prone to get this virus and get into the complication stages faster. But these days we have seen like very nearby to my place, we've lost a 27 years young man 2 weeks back, a constable. He died of the coronavirus infection in just like a span of 3 days. So there are various factors. It's not just that uh, the immunity of young people also can be, you know, down, because in allopathy they openly have been using the immunosuppressant therapies for all the allergic conditions. And today most of the people here in North India, I don't know about your side, but here, because of pollution and a lot of issues and the contamination of water, a lot of people have a lot of allergies, especially the respiratory and skin allergies are very common here. So those who exclusively go to allopathy, they every day pop an anti-allergic, which is an immunosuppressant. And if the anti-allergic is not sufficient, then they are put on to steroids. And of course, steroids destroys our liver, our kidney, our vital organs. And it's not the virus which is affecting. It's already who have already suffering any organ disease, they are like more prone to it. So homeopathy definitely helps with. That's what I'm urging to everyone, that when you see the very first symptom, don't think that it is just a sore throat, maybe because of the weather, or mujhe to hota hi rehta hai, and all that. I mean, ignore all of these and act from the very first symptom. Take the help of homeopathy, and even if you're positive, you can recover within a week. Here people, I've seen studies where my colleagues have been treating with homeopathy these COVID patients, and within 4 days span, their test came negative, and they've been like better.
Yeah.
So there's no doubt that homeopathy can help. But it's just that if somebody is already slipping into, there is no vitality left, and now there is no scope of recovery, then but there also we can give some symptomatic relief. There, in those cases, we cannot talk about reversing the disease, and you know, if somebody is dying, we cannot bring back him to life, but we can ease the symptoms, we can ease the pain. That's the maximum what we can do in those like very last stages.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. I will take the next question. Yeah, Samirji.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to know why homeopathy was not used to cure a black plague in Europe during earlier times. And my second question is, if we need if we need homeopathic treatment, or if there COVID emergency, how do we contact you? And do you give treatment over phone?
So first thing, sir, I don't read about the past so much. You know, I don't seriously read about what has happened before I was born. I'm not
Okay.
interested. Okay, because I believe in here. I have seen. See, you must, or everyone, we know that dengue is a very kind of epidemic in North India. It comes
Yeah.
every year, and a lot of people suffer, and many people die. And allopathy, we don't have really a cure for that. But I have treated many cases of and a lot of people, every homeopath, every dedicated homeopathic doctor treats every year many people, but people doesn't know about this, that we have the cure, and we cannot stand everywhere and shout that, okay, yes, I have the treatment and you come to me. This is a very ridiculous thing to do. So your next question was,
How to
If we
reach
have
you?
a COVID emergency, how do we contact you if we need a homeopathic help?
COVID emergency. So if
Yeah,
it is
COVID
an
symptoms.
emergency, I am constantly saying that don't wait for the emergency to come. It's not something that would be, that comes from above and, takes over. It develops slowly. It develops, there is something in your throat, you are sneezing, you're having cold, you're coughing, your body ache, you're having body ache, you're not feeling healthy. I mean, this is the time when you should act. If you really want to prevent, if you
Yeah.
at this stage, at this stage, if you start your treatment, your test would come negative, which would obviously be, done after 2 days, and as per the process. Even if we the thing is this, even if I write a prescription today, the test is being done after 2 days, because of lack of testing kits, and uh, there are not many labs which are doing the test also. And further 2 days after the report come, I think 4-5 days are enough for any person whose immunity is weak, or who's more susceptible, and whose lifestyle is not well maintained, and who doesn't have that information to keep his body healthy, or has not been following a very healthy regime, then he is prone to have complications. And so I think it's enough. By the time the report comes, uh, you're already into stage 2 or stage 3. So it's
Under common question we are getting in the group chat is, in case anyone has some symptoms or any doubt of COVID, how to reach your appointment?
how to reach.
How to get your appointment?
How to get my appointment? I am totally taking all my cases over phone, strictly over phone, because it's a safety issue for everyone, for me also. Because if I'm giving medicine to one positive patient, and I'm in like open contact with the patient, and I can get because today the situation is such that many people are roaming around with latent infection. They have the virus in their body, but they're not having the symptoms. Okay, so you won't know that a seemingly looking healthy person is having that virus, and you can get that virus from that person. So everyone, we do need to take that all these necessary precautions of distancing and everything. uh, so on phone, yes, I am consulting, and but I think it's a long distance, the courier service is not working, so not possible. So it's better that any nearby doctor who is saying that, yes, I'm ready to take your case, I'm ready to treat you, ask the doctor first, if he or she is taking the COVID positive cases, then you can surely do the follow-up with them.
Yeah. Sunita ji.
Hi,
Hi.
Dr. Nisha. Thank you for a wonderful talk. I just have two questions. One is, first of all, I totally believe in homeopathy. I used to take a lot of tissue salts earlier when I had some deficiencies in calcium and magnesium, and they work wonders. So I am a complete homeopathic believer and naturopathy believer in anything that's holistic. My question is, when would you say that for before we even get into all these stages of prevention, a diet should be your first recommendation for most people, so that they can boost their immunity naturally before they start getting sick, and then looking at prevention once they do get sick? And the second one is there any homeopathy tablets that we can take to boost our immunity, just so that prevention is your first step before cure?
So coming to your first question, ma'am, I myself advocate when somebody comes to me. Otherwise, also I always give them a corrected diet style and a corrected, modified lifestyle plan, including their improving their sleep pattern, their exercise, and their outdoor activities, their stress management, everything. I talk to them first and I tell them that this is your root cause of the problem. If you can correct this, go correct this. And if you are not able to, still get relief, or if you're not able to work on all these things, then come back, we'll start with some medicines. So medicine is my obviously a second choice. My first choice is always improving upon the person's diet, eating habits, their sleep, their lifestyle, adding some kind of exercise into their routine, and how they manage their stress. All these things affect our immunity. Immunity is not just based on one thing. It is like it is a multifactorial thing. Everything affects our immunity, our body, and
even our state of mind, actually.
yes, that's what I'm saying. The stress level, stress management is very, very important.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And the two, and what about the tablets or something we can take just to prevent it?
Something I would suggest that you talk to some local homeopathic doctors, whatever they have been giving in your area as a preventive medicine. You talk to them and you take it, because it can vary from area to area. Here we have been using a few medicines. I have personally distributed to more than some 1,000 people the preventive medicines that I have been giving to positive patients also, but that's are into very controlled dosages, and that medicine you should talk to your local physician for that. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, ask your question.
Good morning, madam. Suppose two people with COVID positive come to you.
Okay.
They have different temperaments and different behavioral patterns. Would you use same medicine to both, or different medicines?
See, first thing, sir, it is difficult seeing COVID positive patients one-on-one these days. So the elaborate case taking is not really happening. We are looking at the immediate symptoms that can be threatening. So that is the first priority. Of course, we always have an eye. Being an homeopathic doctor, we always look for something peculiar symptom. Even if the patient doesn't tell, we keep observing. And yes, we do prescribe. I do prescribe like that. But first priority is always like the immediate life threatening symptoms. If any such symptoms are there, if any condition is there, that is the first priority of prescription these days.
Is there any age problem for homeopathy? Because it works on vitality. For aged people, vitality will be a bit less. Can homeopathy help in aged people also?
So although you I don't believe the vitality is less, but it is sufficient
Not-
to keep you alive. If the
uh,
person is alive, the vitality is intact. It can
not-
be a little low, it doesn't matter. Even if there is little scope of improvement, homeopathy always helps, and there is no doubt about it. And there's no such thing as, being old. Homeopathy cannot help and cannot cure 100%. It is about the damage. Sometimes people have like almost like 90% liver failure, kidney failure. Then we have to go to very strict diet regime along with the medicine. Only medicine is going to give like some relief and not going to cure, that's
Samuel,
where
Samuel Hahnemann Saab, he used
yes.
mostly 6x, 12x, like that slow decimal potencies. But now everybody is using centesimal, 200, etc. Are we deviating from the original principles?
So the time Hahnemann was alive, he was practicing. It was completely different. It was like a Satyug time. Now is like a completely polluted time. All the food that we are eating is not at all natural. The air we are breathing, it's not at all. It's full of. All the pollutants. The water is full of pollutants, and everything we touch from morning to night has chemicals into it. So that's how somewhere we're already living into very toxic environments. So we need to, it's fine.
One small doubt, electro-homeopathy, I hear about it. Does it stand equal to this or somewhat complementary to homeopathy, electro-homeopathy?
Sorry, what?
There is a new concept.
Electro
Electro-homeopathy is there.
Electro-homeopathy.
Uh, uh, have you heard
Yeah.
of? Is it equal to this or complementary to this, or it is not at all required in keeping in view of this homeopathy? What is your opinion? People
See,
say it is later development after homeopathy. It has come later, much later, so I'm somewhat advanced. That is what from Italy it has come. This is homeopathy has come from Germany, and that electro homeopathy has come from Italy. That also is a renowned scientist or something. Do you have any idea about it?
so
Does it supplement us?
homeopathy is itself it's complete, but with the advancement of technology, with the advancement of scientific tools, which Hahnemann didn't had in his lifetime. Now we are like having a lot of advanced instruments, and we are like arguing that this is not scientifically proved, and there is no enough scientific backing for your pathy. So people have went all these ways to prove that, see, these are effective, and using the latest technologies, they all have been practicing it the modern way. It's just the modern homeopathy and nothing else. It's good, no problem with that. You can use any.
Electro homeopathy as well.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Yeah. Next question we'll take is Shudavanji.
Hello.
Yeah. Ask your question.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, hello, sir.
Ma'am, I have been following Dr. Vishwarup Roy Chaudhary and some American doctor on social media. Doctor, I forgot his name. Okay,
Marcola.
he's saying that is this COVID-19 really a pandemic or it's a cooked up thing?
Yes, I also have been following Dr. Vishwarup Roy Chaudhary, and it's a really controversial statement. I think we need not go into the controversies, and we need to make sure that we stay safe. I think this should be our priorities, because we, as common people, we cannot find out the truth. We do not have enough evidences to support our backing what we are saying. You can still think that it's suppose I think that yes, it is a controversy, but people are testing positive and they've been sent to quarantine facilities, and they have been, they're into life threatening conditions, and many people have lost their lives around me. But how can I deny that fact? How can I close my eyes to that fact? So I believe that whatever tools that we have, we need to use them. This is the time, whether you use naturopathy, that Dr. Vishwarup Roy Chaudhary is very proactively talking about it. I do follow him. I also you know uh, but I think we don't need to go into this it's cooked up or it's real, but the cases are real. You cannot deny that fact.
And that is out of a webinar objective. Yeah, we'll take the next question from Srinivasanji.
Namaste, ma'am.
Namaste, sir.
For this homeopathic side for this COVID-19, there is this preventive medicine that has been, a few files that I'm seeing that doing rounds is arsenic albumin 30. So that can be taken like 4 pills on empty stomach for 3 days, which acts as an preventive thing. So like, is it does it hold good for everyone, or should it be taken like after consulting any homeopathy doctor and then it can be taken?
See, you always should consult a doctor before taking anything, whether it's a preventive thing or whether it's, because it can vary from region to region. The preventive medicine can vary from region to region. North India, a lot of people have been using arsenic album, and so far it's been giving good results. We didn't get any symptoms or any cases I haven't heard of. But for your region, for I think South India, you should consult the local doctors before taking any preventive medicine. But preventive medicine theory exists, and it helps and it supports, and if you wish to, you can take it. There is no problem with that, because in homeopathy there is not just one antiviral medicine, or only one medicine to boost the immune system. There are many, there are hundreds of the medicines, but we have to see according to, as per whatever the symptoms have been coming into your area. So
Okay.
on that basis, the preventive medicine has been decided, and I think you should talk to your local doctor and then you should consume it.
Yeah.
And do you suggest elders' point of view, that is fine. Say for a 1-year-old child, 2-year-old child, should they also go in for? Is it good if they go in for some preventive medicine sort of thing if they take it? Is my one thing. And my one more question is, say if the whatever the preventive medicine that we are taking, so is there, once taken, will it be fine, or is there any time cycle sort of thing? Say maybe after say 1 month or 2 months, you have to take it again so that the immune system is good, or it'll work sort of thing.
Okay, so your first question is, I think even a newborn baby can be given homeopathic medicine after consultation, after proper consultation with the doctor. There is no problem, no side effects with that. They also, 1-year, 2-year kids can also take the preventive dosage, but the dosage would be very calculated, and the amount would be less, and the number of pills or number of drops, and the repetitions would be lesser than the adults that we prescribe to grown-ups. And your second question was?
They suppose they take for a few months, and after again a few days again they have to repeat the same medicine or not?
So here I tell you, in my area or nearby areas, I think every locality we have a positive case. So where the risk is higher of contracting the virus, I think every once a week or 10 days, one dose can be repeated, safely repeated, where there is high risk areas or people who are like frontline workers, policemen, and the health professionals. They should repeat it. Like if they are seemingly healthy, they can take it like every once a week. And if in your area or in your state there are 1 or 2 cases in the whole community, or till the distance places, so you can safely take it like once or twice a month. That's it.
Fine. Right. Thank you, doctor. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, Ashmi Jazi.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Hi. Actually, ma'am, I wish to know that soon there will be some vaccine out from allopathy, right? And uh, then there will be comparison again, that is homeopathy good, and a lot of people will run towards allopathy. So I wish to know that like now I'm understanding that that homeopathy medicines are eventually going to help better. So I wish to know that in the previous journey, like my kids are small, for the
Mhm.
previous vaccines also, is there any remedy in homeopathy, or should I need to vaccine my kids for other problems also?
See, in homeopathy, for every vaccine, there is an alternative. I mean, even if you talk about the uh, rabies vaccine or the tetanus vaccine injections that people give, we have alternatives for all of the things. Already, it's a complete science. It doesn't, like allopathy. In allopathy, it's like that every few years a new pandemic or a new epidemic disease comes, and then they start into going researches and trying to find the cure, and they're like there is no treatment for some time, and they're waiting for new inventions to come. But homeopathy itself is a very complete system of medicine. It has every possible symptom recorded by Mr. Henneman himself during his lifetime. I think you cannot imagine, like for a simple fever, for a simple cough, for a simple headache, how many number of remedies do we have in our materia medica. So it's like overwhelming sometimes. So a lot of doctors, they take one part of the pathy and they practice, they master that and they practice accordingly, and it's very vast and it takes a whole lifetime to master the entire art. But it is a complete system of medicine, and for everything, if you follow it, like if you go to a good doctor, I think you need not to look to any other thing. Otherwise, if you follow a healthy lifestyle and your eating habits are good eating habits, I'm saying, because our body is made up of food and it is not
Hmm.
made up of medicines. Okay, so
Hmm.
medicine is the second thing and food is the first thing. So whatever good or bad is there, if there is disease, if there is health and harmony, it is because what was in your plate and what went into your stomach, that has been converted into your cells. So food is the primary thing that we should change to stay healthy, and medicine comes, of course, when when we are done, and that is the most one can do. And if there is still problem, then the medicines come to the rescue.
Yeah.
Thank you, doctor.
Yeah. We'll take two more questions, and these are the two last questions. Meghna ji.
Yes. Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
Ma'am, I'm from Mumbai, and
Okay.
I actually went to many Ayurvedic doctor to treat myself, because my liver enzymes are very high.
Sorry, what? Liver?
Liver enzymes, that alkaline phosphate, SGPT,
Okay,
SGOT,
fever enzymes. Okay.
liver enzyme,
Mm-hmm.
liver.
Okay, liver enzymes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So regarding that, I'm having lots of itching in my body and lots of problems. So I'm taking Ayurvedic treatment from long.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm suffering from 2.5 years, but it's not helping much. Like
So
it's,
have you tried working your changing your diet ever?
yeah, I changed my diet, but that's what I want to consult somebody, like whatever I'm taking right now is adequate, because my weight is also reducing, because I'm not having proper food, because it's not digesting actually.
See
So
one
I,
thing. Okay. See one thing. What happens? A disease. When we are diseased, so our liver, our kidney, all are detoxifying organs in the body. The five systems that detoxify or that cleanse our body, their functioning go down. So we need to first channelize them. Okay, if your kidneys are not cleaning the waste out of your body every day, if your liver is not able to detoxify and perform all the various functions of the metabolism, if your lungs are not able to absorb the oxygen and throw out all the carbon dioxide, and if your skin is not breathing well, and skin is also a medium we excrete out waste through. Okay, so if you're having any skin allergy, that means your liver and your kidneys are not functioning well. Their function is
Yes.
compromised.
My cholesterol is also too high.
Yes. So you need to work on, see, changing your diet helps you by not adding on to the disease. Now the disease will stop where it is. The progress will stop, but it will not get cured because you haven't cleaned up your body. Your body from inside, like from outside, we take a bath, we brush our teeth, we clean our hands and everything. We take care of the hygiene so carefully, but internal hygiene is equally and rather more important for a healthy body. So having cleaner internal system is very, very important. And just by popping pills, whether it's homeopathy then or allopathy or ayurveda, it is not going to help. So first you need to uh, make sure how you're going to detox your body,
Mhm. Can
and
I
then
take
the medicines would help.
Yeah, you're from where, ma'am?
I'm from Delhi.
Delhi. So, can I take your number from so much?
Hitesh ji.
Yeah, namaskar, Dr. Saab.
Namaskar, sir.
I just wanted to ask this because so many times you have mentioned that we should go to a good homeopathic doctor. Now, I want to share this story. I live in Punjab, and
Okay.
when Dr. Khader suggested, bryonia and rootstocks for the prevention of corona, and same thing I heard that we should go to a local homeopath and just check things according to the our climate and all. And they were not confident enough. I visited 3 to 4 homeopaths and they were not confident, and they were saying this, yes, Ayush has recommended arsenic, you can take that. So I mean, how to get into that okay, that a particular homeopath is good or is not confident. So how we can make sure that we are taking these medicines or the preventive medicines for anything, for pandemic or epidemic, whatever, they are good enough for us, for our climate, I mean, for our area. So how
So
to do that?
first thing, when you talk to your doctor, you get to assess the confidence level he or she is having into, if whether they're like I have seen many doctors who are like into panic right now, whether they
Right.
are homeopathic, whether they are allopathic. I know here the big private hospitals, they all have been shut down, and doctors are sitting home. It's okay, it's fine. I'm not saying, we are all human beings, but yes, it depends person to person, and it depends on experience, and it depends on how passionately you're following your work and how you want to contribute. Or I mean, some people are just busy to just save their lives, and some people are busy saving other people's lives. So it's a like two different things, and you'll be able to identify. You talk to some more doctors and you'll find out.
So
Yeah.
for like, I mean, for northern regions, I mean, what should we do? I mean, clearly, I'm actually, I don't know whether we should take arsenic
See,
because again,
arsenic
arsenic.
album you can take, no
Okay,
problem
so
with that.
for
Like,
this particular region, our north region, do we have some specific, other again these preventive medicine? Because
see, then I
I
would suggest that you take arsenic album. Okay,
okay
uh,
only
like 1 dose in 10 days or something like that. Okay,
okay.
don't repeat it before 10 days, but
Mhm.
then be careful. If you have like very thoda bhi, if you have sore throat or cold or body ache, you feel feverish, please, your senses should get alert that something is wrong and I can't wait to
Mhm.
consult the doctor and to start the treatment. Then don't wait and don't ignore it. Then I have taken the preventive and I'm safe. This is not the story right now.
Yeah.
Okay. And when we take some homeopathic, medicine in a liquid form, So is there any difference when we take it in normal water? Say, I take say 1 drop of that homeopathic medicine in say 100 ml of water. So how many people can we give it to? One. And second is if we are giving it in pills. So what is the ratio for that also? Because I mean they say that different things on different platforms.
See, what I tell people, if you drink the entire bottle in one go, it will be counted as only one dose. So it's okay. If you take 1 drop or 2 drop or 3 drops, you can either directly take it on your tongue, or you can put it into some water and then take it. It's just enough, no need to go into so much depth, and it's sufficient. And if you're taking it into pills or powder form, you can just take a few pills, depends upon the size of the pills. If they are large, you take some less. If they are very tiny, you take some more. I mean, it's okay.
No, that 1.5 inch pills bottle which we get. So how many drops in that, and from that like how many pills? Like say in that it's around 15.
Yeah, you add like 8 to 10 drops of the liquid into the bottle.
Okay, and then we can distribute to say 3 to 4 people.
Yeah.
Morning, evening.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
SG, ask your question.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
I am Rudresh from Bangalore. I had last 50 days, I had 3 times something like cold and throat pain, but with home remedy, I was able to get rid of. But is it necessary to take homeopathy when it's repeated? You can let me know, because I have episodes of cold from my childhood also. So no, that is one issue. And secondly, what are the options available for detoxification in the homeopathy? So 2 questions.
Firstly, you said you kind of have some chronic allergy, because of which you keep getting this recurrent attacks, mild attacks, which you're able to cure with home remedies. So if you want to cure this chronic allergy, you should definitely take the homeopathic treatment, so that it won't happen repeatedly. But home remedies, they are good. I mean, we should do something every day to medicine is something that we should consider taking. Should be the last priority. First is changing your food. As I always say, exercise, manage your stress, sleep better, and eat better, breathe better, focus on your breathing. Also sit in some sunlight every day. These are the things which would take care of your immune system fairly, and you'll be healthy. And avoid certain group of food items for better health. And your second question was
Regarding detoxification available in
detoxification.
homeopathy.
See, in homeopathy, a good homeopathic prescription is sufficient enough to take care of. There are no such detoxifying processes. But yes, when we give the right medicine, sometimes people experience some kind of loose motion. Most of the time, loose motions happens. Sometimes some people also experience some vomiting also. I mean, this is the kind of detoxification that happens. But homeopathic medicine, internally, they help in like boosting the liver function. They enhance the kidney functions. This is how they enhance the vitality. They work on the vitality. They work on the immunity. They make the core strong. That's how. I mean, but the proper detoxification processes, as we have in naturopathy and Ayurveda and other system in Panchakarma, such detoxification processes, they're not there in homeopathy.
Okay, because I had type 2 diabetes, and after taking that Virechana in the Ayurvedic treatment, I was able to reduce my sugar, and now it is within 140, 150. So that's why I asked doctor.
Okay. Yeah, got it. Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thanks for your wonderful experiences And we got a lot of good insight into the homeopathy way of healing, which is also a natural way of healing. And thanks to sharing your experiences, how you treated the COVID patients and how to prevent, and mainly the diet, and if still people get a problem, then should be the medication. That's what you communicated very well today. Yeah, thank you all. With this, we'll conclude this today's webinar, and we'll meet. Stay in the NELG groups, and we'll post update about the next webinars. With this, we'll conclude this today's webinar.